Hey, welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. I told you guys I'm on location, and so just doing a couple of shorts to keep my foot in the door, keep myself busy. But I come to you when I hear good news or bad news, either way. If there's nothing to talk about, I ain't really got nothing to say. But please don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Don't subscribe if you already subscribed. You good. You already locked in. Hit the like and share button though every time you come through and leave a comment. And you can hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. I normally come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But as I said, I'm on location. So it's a little bit of news that broke. So let's get into it. Okay. I got a lot of people calling me about the Spence and Crawford fight. Now, although as a boxing fan, of course I want to see this fight. A lot of us want to see this fight. Spence fans want to see this fight. Crawford fans want to see this fight. Hell, the casuals probably want to see this fight. But we haven't seen this fight because somebody, we would name them empty suits, decided that it's best to marinate this particular fight. Problem with marination is nobody's promised tomorrow. We don't know what tomorrow look like. And you should strike while the metal is hot because a lot of things can happen. The fight could get boring. Look at the unfortunate things that have happened to Earl Spence over these past couple of years. That could have been worse for him. Thank God that it wasn't, but it could have been worse. And then we would have never had the fight. You know what I'm saying? So the marination thing, I think a lot of us as boxing fans, we over it. But just to let you guys know, especially the casuals, because I want to keep you informed, don't get caught up in this date. June 17th, I understand that a lot of us put out that there was a notice of their fight being slotted on some cable networks or whatever. Also, just rumor mill or what some of the notable reporters, I was going to say Republican, but notable reporters have mentioned, like Coppinger and others. But we don't know. I always said, unless you hear from the horse's mouth, you really don't know. And anybody could be talking anything just to stir up trouble or controversy or whatever. Yes, this fight right here is very controversial. All we did here is that Spence is slated to fight Keith Thurman on May 29th. Now, he was slated to fight Keith Thurman in February. He was slated to fight Keith Thurman in December of last year. So we really don't know what Spence is up to. A lot of people always say that when Spence talk, he tells the truth. He always a man of his word. But I gotta say, being honest, no, he's not. And I'm not knocking him, like giving him overly, criticizing him. But he is, the latest I could think of is when he said, I'm fighting November 19th last year, regardless, with or without Terrence Crawford. Well, November 19th came and went, and he never fought. Terrence Crawford said, I'm fighting this year regardless. Talking about 2022. Well, December 10th, 2022, Terrence Crawford did fight. So, so some of that stuff when he said, he's a man of his word, But I would tell you this. If you're a boxer and you don't correct wrong, on something big like this, the whole world is waiting for them two to meet up, for them two to negotiate, for them two to get this fight on the road. The whole world is waiting. The whole boxing world is waiting, more importantly. And we get news that a fight is inked in for June 17th. And his mum's the word until recently Terrence Crawford has come out and tweeted, it is April Fool's, like basically it is the month of April. I guess that's his way of saying, don't believe everything you hear. But, they negotiating. I'm sure they want to do it in private. They don't want prying ears. They don't want to leak nothing. I'm sure they got a way of which they want to do it. But I would say the responsibility is Earl's and Terrence to set the record straight. I'm not bashing Earl Spence, but he has to come out and set the record straight as well as what Terrence did. Even if he say, yep, I agree, Terrence, this is April Fool's. That'll give some people an inkling. But for real, when it's bad information like that, June 17th, that's an actual date. People will start planning their lives, maybe taking leave from work. What they can use that leave for something else, for family emergencies or whatever, all just to spend their money to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Then Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford should come out and be as clear as possible that do not go by any dates unless you hear it from us. You can say that. Either one of them can say that and be good with it. Don't go by any date unless you hear it from us. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened. The closest thing we got to it was Terrence saying it is April Fool's. And then, you have Spence fans out there who got a nerd to bash him for that. To put him down over that. I'm like, I don't know what this guy could do without getting criticized from Spence fans. I mean, if he breathed wrong and they don't see the biasness in which they judge everything. Like one guy actually was going far as like it's Terrence's fault. It's not Earl's fault. It's not Terrence's fault. If that date floats out there, it's nobody's fault. I don't know who started that rumor, because right now it's like a rumor. But until you hear from the horse's mouth, i.e. Earl Spence himself, Derek James himself, or, somebody like Earl's father, somebody close, or Al Heyman, which we don't never hear shit from him. But if he came out and said, or even Floyd, if you hear it from them, if you hear it from Crawford and Team Crawford, and we know who Team Crawford is, Bomac and his other trainers, if you hear it from them out their mouth, then maybe, just maybe, you could take it to the bank. But if you don't hear it from them out their mouth, it's all speculation. It's all wish. It's all hope. It's all I guess. And that's what we can't allow ourselves to get worked up on. I haven't reported that June 17th is legit. I'm not saying it's illegitimate. I'm saying it's not enough information to call the ball either way. So what I do is I sit back patiently and wait. Do I hope that them two are fighting instead of Keith Thurman? Absolutely. Absolutely. I do not want to see the Keith Thurman fight. And if it did go like over Bud, I don't want to see Spence and Keith Thurman as opposed to Spence and Crawford. I need that fight to happen first. Then I entertain Spence and other fights and Crawford and other fights. But I understand if they cannot get it together, they got to do what they got to do. They got rules, policies, and obligations that they have to meet per the sanctioning bodies and this, that, and the other. But here's to hopefully June 17th being a legit date. But my advice to everybody right now is to treat it like something you heard. Let it go in one ear and out the other ear. Don't hold on to it because you're going to get disappointed. Don't make plans to it because you're going to get disappointed. Like, don't take leave. Don't buy hotel rooms. Don't buy plane tickets. You're going to get disappointed. And if the plan is to wait to the Tank Davis and Garcia fight to announce the Bud and Spence fight, I'm not that happy with that plan. It don't make sense. Put the information out, as soon as possible. But if that's the plan, then we have to wait. That Tank Davis fight goes down April 25th, I guess. That'll give us some reasonable time out before the fight. But shoot, I mean, if it's a done deal, if whatever they doing behind closed doors is concrete enough to announce an actual date, then they need to go ahead and put that out and stop stalling. You know what I'm saying? Make it official. But until then, I would just say, pump your brakes, slow it down, think about it. You know, in this case, these two fighters, Spence versus Crawford, you know how we feel over here at Boxing Fans Talk TV. We think that Spence been ducking them. No hit, no animosity against Spence. We just believe that he been ducking them. Now I get a fair amount of Spence fans to come through that do not agree with what I'm saying right now, and that's cool. In fact, the people who be calling me, my friends, my personal friends, they think it's the opposite, that Terrence is ducking Spence. And they'll take that to the bank. That's why this fight has to happen. Because everybody see it from their perspective. It's really only one perspective. Make the fight and then make sure you carry out the fight. And when that fight happens, I'm sure they're going to be saying, and the new undisputed welterweight champion of the world in the four-belt era, Terrence Bud Crawford. That's my prediction, y'all. That's just how I see it. If you see it differently, more power to you. I'm not mad at you. But that's my perspective. I can go, on and on why I think Terrence Bud Crawford will win that fight between him and Errol Spence. But, we got to get to that night. So keep your panties on. Don't get them in a bunch. Don't believe everything you hear. And don't blame the fighters if it's not going down. Don't blame them. Be like, June 17th don't come. You're ready to blame Errol Spence. Or you're ready to blame Terrence Crawford. Don't do that. They got to negotiate. And it's got to be good for both parties. We are not in the negotiations. We don't get a cut of the money. We don't get anything. So just let them do what they do. If the fight never happened, it's an unfortunate loss for boxing. It should be a learning lesson for every boxer coming up. Don't sign things and be involved with stuff where people clearly throw monkey wrenches in front of you. If you see a person that'll stop you from making millions, I don't know what to say about that person. But but I would tell you, future fighters, that might not be the people you want to roll with. So, like I said, we're going to wait and see. You best believe Boxing Fans Talk TV, we sitting in the cut. We watching everything. We waiting to see. We're not getting overly excited. We're not being overly dismissive. We just saying ain't enough information. And with that, hopefully, y'all will take heed and chill on the June 17th date. Let's see if it come and go. Let's see what happens. But I think it's something to be said about Terrence Crawford coming out, at least trying to throw cold water on it, saying, hey, it's probably April Fool's, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that, to that effect that, hey, you do know we in the month of April. Because Terrence understand the importance of letting his friends and families and fans believe something that is totally not true. Everybody don't got millions like them two. So making plans, shelling out money for something that's not true is important. So thank you, Terrence Crawford, for having the decency to respect the fans enough to say, chill, because that's essentially what he did. And with that, I'm out, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, you're already locked in. And remember, I come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most of the time. I'm on vacation right now. So when I get back, I'll return to normal schedule. Until then, peace.